Crafting a speech can be challenging, but it can also be a learning experience. When writing an outline for a speech, it is extremely important to consider your audience. Considering your audience is crucial when presenting a speech because you want your audience to be able to connect and focus and pay attention on what you're saying instead of just dozing off. Whether you're talking about the length of a speech or the number of points you plan to cover, one of the most important qualities of an effective speech is organization and the presentation in a speech about heroes. The speaker, George, needs to improve his organization and presentation of his visual aid. So let's start off. According to the textbook on page 94, you must organize your ideas in a logical pattern to ensure that your audience can follow and understand and remember what you say. It's important not to jump around when giving your speech because you don't want your audience to be confused. You want them to be able to clearly understand when you're transitioning and the points you're trying to make. It's important to read over your outline and make sure everything sounds good. According to Michael Brent, there's 5 types of organization. Logical, which is organization in a logical pattern. Chronological, which is sequential. Spatial, which is only used when you're talking about countries or cities. Cause and effect, and in cause and effect, a situation is given and then the effect is then discussed. Problem and solution, the problem is given and then they talk about the solution. The next problem I believe George had was his presentation on his visual aid. On page 164, it states any image, object, or sound that reinforces your point visually or aurally so that your audience can better understand it. I think it's important to communicate your ideas to your classmates or your peers just to make sure you're giving the best speech possible. By communicating with others, they can add in their own opinions and it really helps get your point across. Now, how your visual aids help. They can be your main attention getter, so they can help draw in the audience's focus. But they can also enhance understanding. Some people learn better by seeing, so it'll really stick with them by seeing. Now, it can also help you remember what you know. If you have something flashy or cool, your audience is more likely to remember it. Now, charts and graphs can help you enhance your main idea and keep your speech organized. Some people learn from illustrations, so illustrations will also help people that are visual learners. Next, I will talk about types of visual aids and how to organize it in. According to visual aids for speech and presentation, there are 5 different types of visual aids. There's charts, posters, props, handouts, and videos. It's important to organize it in where it fits. You don't want to just put it in where it doesn't fit. Make sure it's at a point that will catch the audience's attention. You want your visual aid to to engage the audience, so you want it to be luring to them. Now, don't just choose any visual aid that is just there because you need a visual aid. Make sure it has a purpose. In conclusion, creating a speech can be a difficult thing to do, but it can also be worth it. Like I said before, writing a speech can teach the speaker many new things on the topic they decide to present about. The speaker needs to make sure they are formatting their speech correctly. In the speech about heroes, I believe George could have organized his speech better and done a better job about going about his visual aid. I hope the tips I shared can help and made it clear on how to improve giving your speech.